Previously on BikesBoozeBigfoot.
Not the ending to the trip we'd hoped. This is likely the last time that you'll see these bikes. Ta-da!
Ben named her. Her name is Ginny GS. And then Ben doesn't really name his bikes, but this is his new bike. I have a new motorcycle, so. Okay, today we're going to be putting some new things on the GS. We're going to start with some grip puppies, which will be nice for my hands. The MachineArtMoto cylinder covers, we're going to put those on today. And then over here, we're going to put on the base of my top case. We're going to put that in today so that I can finally use my top case from GIVI.
Basically, I don't know how well this is going to show up, but we take off the existing bolts, just the bolts, leave the plate. This plate then just sits right on top of it. So pretty easy, or should be pretty easy. Famous last words. So we'll start here. Start by taking off the 4 bolts here. No surprise, they're T30s, so we'll just kind of loosen these up quick. So we got the 4 bolts off. Okay, it sits like this, it looks like. Okay, so it sits back a little bit. Interesting, we can do that. Okay, so if we look at the top here, we'll put in the spacers. Looks like this needs to be done first, and then we put on the bracket. I've got to tighten up these kind of back screws here. So it obviously, then it'll kind of sit here. And this will hold up the back end of the plate. So I've got the plate on, I've got my adapters. I should just be able now to, fingers crossed here, just gonna stuff this on. Yeah, much like that. Voila. Yes, and then I'll just tighten this down pretty much, and then 2 nuts here, go kind of on the bottom right here. Tighten up these back screws here. This bolt on here. Don't want to over tighten it, but I do want it snug. All right, so we've got these little bolts we've got to put on. Got the bigger size, goes kind of at the back here. There appears to be 13 millimeter, and then the smaller one is going to go under all the other holes or posts, and it's going to be 10 mil. So we'll tighten these up and we'll put the bags on. All right, we'll grab this final bolt here. The ratcheting wrench does not fit underneath. And that's on. All right, so that's kind of what it looks like once it's on. So you can see it does sit just a little ways back. Voila, we've got a top case. So this is gonna be the same top case Crystal would have used on the KTM. We've actually got to rip off the Kitty Marie sticker. I think I'm gonna do the grip puppies. Basically, I've got to take off the hand guard, I think. I've got to get the grip puppy, the foam things, a little bit wet, and then just stuff them on and make sure that this little bit here where the grip kind of ends, so that I got the foam kind of before that. So we're gonna use a T50. We're gonna take off, we'll loosen the hand guard. Just that easy there. With that off here, I can just stuff that foam right through there. So that's what we'll do next. So when I stuff it on, I like to make sure I get this grip good and wet. I'm just using a glass of water, and I get a dollop of soap in there, and then I just kind of soak the grip puppy in there, and then I can kind of get it on. With any luck then, I can kind of stuff it on there. There we go, and then I like to twist it. I really want to make sure that I've got this lip for the grip kind of exposed. Otherwise, this kind of tends to bind up on the bar end. Really work that back good. Probably see some water coming off of this. Yep, and I've got that. And then it's just a matter of reassembling. So I know I've got my bar end that goes here, my guard. Put it all together, that should work. We've got our guard on. We've got a grip puppy. Okay, working on the bike, got these MachineArtMotos. They call these the X-Head 1250. It's a cylinder head. I'm gonna install it. But it's got a few holes in it. He basically just replaced the existing kind of small cover. So it's actually two pieces, a piece of chunk of rubber and then some plastic on the outside. And it's gonna get installed on both bikes. Okay, cylinder guards are pretty easy. I did it in about 10 minutes on the RS this morning. Essentially, you take off this bolt here, you take off your spark plug cover, and then I'll see if I can get it here. There's a couple bolts down here and here, and you just basically shove the cover on and then put the 3 bolts in, tighten them down, not too tight, and that's it. They say kind of work from the bottom, 2 bolts at the bottom here, and then the 3rd one on top, which kind of makes sense. We've got 6 new bolts, just a little bit longer. There it goes. And then we're gonna torque it bottom up. Kind of give it just a bit of pressure there. All right, last one on top here. Give it just a little bit of pressure. Good was that tightness. Don't want it too tight. That feels good. And there we go. So that's kind of that. Got this installed. As you can see, that's kind of on there. Got a little bit of protection in case something, you drop it in the driveway, or, if you kind of look at the profile of the bike there, just kind of dead on, you can see that cylinder really sticks out. But if you're dropping it, you're hitting a cylinder. I'm gonna go to the left side of the bike and I'm gonna do the same thing. And then give me 5-10 minutes and this should be done. Got both cylinder guards on. Got the right side, good to go. Got the left side. This would be 3 bikes I've put these MachineArtMoto cylinder covers on. Never had to use them, luckily, knock on wood. I like the design. Even if I had crash guards, I'd probably still keep them. Okay, so next, we're gonna get a ram mount and we're gonna put it on the mirror. Basically, that just entails, and I'm hoping they sent the right bolts. I don't know. We'll find out. I think they probably did, but I've got to hit the hardware store for my bike. I have the ram mount. I've just got to go get a couple bolts. Bolts they sent me, they're just a little bit short. I'm running the spacers and everything. It's not really set up to do that, so I'm gonna run to the hardware store shortly and get some different bolts. Okay, in the truck, I haven't driven it for about a month, so as I run to the hardware store, let's see if it even fires. Oh, it did. Do I have gas? Full tank of gas. All right, got my bolts. They didn't have the M6 bolts that I wanted with the hex cap. So we're gonna try either some different spacers or combination of washers or something. Back, tried some different bolts, tried some different spacers. Neither of those really worked. Looks like the bolts that come with the ram mount are super soft. They were stripping as I was putting them in, like the head was stripping, so that's not gonna work. So abandoning that idea for now, and we'll switch over to something different. Okay, it's about 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm gonna call it a day there. I got on a bunch of stuff, but since it is 3:30, I actually need to go look. Well, one, I need to do other things. I've got a video to edit. Got a lot of videos to edit. It's an ongoing battle. But I actually need to look to see how to wire a Garmin GPS to this. I have everything for the adapters and the wiring and the brackets, but I'm not sure which panels I need to take off to get to the OEM GPS power. So I need to look that up, and then probably do that in the morning. So I'm gonna call it quits here for the day.